So, welcome back here on Zachary's Journey. We are excited for this episode. This episode is going to be fun. We have a very, 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 very special guest with us today. But before we get into that, Zachary, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I have police sirens outside, so pay no mind. But uh, I'm doing good. I am doing very well,
Mm.
enjoying the day, and I'm excited for today, man. Um, with that said, so we have a special guest with us. Someone in whom I've known for quite some time. She is a very close friend of mine, but she's also my boss. Um, Amarilis.
And she's also
She
a bastard.
and she's also apparently a pastor. For those who don't know.
Yes, in Zachary's heart. I am a
So, Amarilis, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here. It's fun to see both of you in action because I feel like I connected this relationship, and so to see you guys thriving and just like having such a genuine connection, I'm
you
just
better, you
here
better
for
preach. You better preach.
here we
Preach
go.
the, preach the Lord.
This is another side of Zachary. Okay, all right, that's hilarious. So, Ama, tell us. Well, I know you, and Zachary knows a little about you and everything like that. But the people watching may or may not know you. So, why don't you tell our audience who you are, and a little about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Amarilis. Um, I guess I can have two last names because I am Padilla, so I'm connected to my parents still because I have not gone through the process of changing my last name, and I'm also married. So I'm married to a man named Kevin Rivera. So I am a wife. I'm a mom. I have two cute little babies. They're like not babies, but they are babies to me. One is 4, and the other one is 6. So we're in summer camp right now, which is a lot of fun. And I'm enjoying this little season while they're not in school with them. I also own my own business. It's been
Mm.
3.5 years that I've had Ark Mentorship and Tutoring. Um, and I have a lot of mentors that work for us, and we service a lot of individuals. So we're very busy in that capacity. I actually just started serving in Kids Club. I taught Sunday school 1 month ago for the
You
first
see
time.
what I mean?
And like, here we go. Actually, Zachary, I used to lead the whole thing, but now I took a step back and now I'm coming back just as a teacher, just to get my feet wet again of teaching, which is something I really enjoy doing. And I think that's it. Oh, I go to Pilates. I attend Pilates class. So that's been a new fun thing I do. I'm trying my best to get fit and feel good about myself. So I'm on the reformer, shaking away because, strengthening all these muscles that have been dormant, it feels like. But yeah.
So wait. So Pilates, I've
Um,
never quite grasped what that is entirely. So can you briefly explain that to me?
Yes, that is the way that they like to talk about the class is it's mind and muscle connection. So we move slow, and it's always paying attention to your breath and how you're moving. And yeah, I think that's the biggest part is breathing and moving and allowing yourself to connect with your breath and moving your body in a way that um, is slow enough that you'd be surprised how hard it hurts.
Really? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I was gonna ask next, whether or not it was like high intensity or whatever.
Yes, yes. I remember my first class, I was shaking in my boots. I was like, what did I just sign up for? But then now that I've been taking the class, I think I've been doing it for like 3 months now. It still hurts. I told the instructor last time, I was like, I'm waiting for the day it doesn't hurt this much, because it's almost like you don't expect it to hurt as much as it does, but then it does. And then but then it feels so good. And I think that's been fun too. I've been home for a major part of my life. I work from home. I During COVID, I took care of my kids. I had my kids at home with me while I was working. So, and I've worked from home for 13 years. It's not like I just started. It wasn't just before COVID. So, um, because I've been home, there's been a big part of me that is like, I need to go outside and connect with the true community. So that was my first venture out, because I was even like, I used to be a part of something called Queen Warriors, and so I would work out at home with videos. Like I even worked out at home. It was just too much home. I'm like, I need to interact with people again. It was just this new mandate on my life of like, go outside and talk to people and interact with them. So that's how I started, really.
Right. So you do a lot, and you're what I like to call like a super mom. Just because like when you look at all you do, and you have the two beautiful children running around, but then you also have your business, and then you have your personal life, you have everything else going on. How do you balance all of that, throughout your life?
Oh, I know
Balance.
what Anthony's trying to do. Anthony's trying to go get a raise or something.
I'm not
Anthony,
doing it. What?
yeah.
What happened?
Anthony's trying to get a raise and put up
Oh, he's
everyone.
saying that I'm trying to get brownie points. That's hilarious. That's pretty hilarious.
I love it. Ah, and that is the best. Oh my God. Please stop. I wish it's so funny. Actually, someone else who is a mentor on the team, their mentee sent me an email saying, please give my mentee a $2 raise because they love the work that they do.
That is hilarious. That's funny.
Um, but for balance, I'll say that about 2 years ago, I hit a point where it was that I was doing so much that I burned out. And so it really hurt me because I feel like I didn't understand why I couldn't do everything and be everything. And I wanted to serve in every capacity at church, take care of my children, be an amazing wife, own a business, run the show, clean my house, because I still have to maintain that part. I mean, we don't really talk about it, but laundry is a very big part of my life. Dishes are a very big part of my life.
Mhm.
So um I reached a point where I almost had so much on my plate that I like crashed, and I just said I can't do anything. And so as I started picking things back up and adding them to my life, I really have to like almost like be selective about what I choose to do and how I participate. What did I say? No. I said you were going to be inside, right? Yeah, but I hear your mouth. Okay.
This is the part where you're a full-time mom.
Yeah. I mean, I gave the ground rules. I
Yeah.
said, I gave them iPads. I gave them their dinner. I said, you're going to be great. And what do? They show up. They just want to be around me all the time. But I think when it comes to balance, it was that I'm super intentional, and some things I just have to be okay with not being able to do and having
Mhm.
to say no, or just I can't right now.
Mhm.
Um, I used to have an awesome social life. I feel like it's not as vibrant, but that's okay. I just have to accept the season that I'm in.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and so it became a lot of that. My time is so precious. So
Right.
I every minute is accounted for something, because I
Right.
want to be good and I want to be able to do more than just one or two things. And so with that, I've had to learn how to plan and keep a calendar and manage myself. And I'm not very good at it, but I do try my best.
That's what I was going to ask you next. I was going to ask if you're like more of a go with the flow type of person, or you're like a planner? Like for me,
Not a planner.
I don't operate well outside of plans. Like I am
Mm.
terrible at being spontaneous just because it just messes with my brain. So like for me, like I wouldn't be able to operate, but it sounds like you're the opposite,
I'm a
or you're trying to be a planner right now.
I'm trying to be a planner. I need to be a planner because if I want to maintain the lifestyle that I have to plan it.
Right.
But I've always been a very free bird. That's how I like to call myself. I just go with the wind. Just take me there. That's what you want to do today? Yeah, let's do it. I'm totally down.
Right.
So,
Right.
I can't.
I do want to say thank you for everybody who submit their questions for all of us, and I will be asking her your questions right now. So,
What you
first,
Zachary?
what? Our first question comes from a, one of my viewers, and they say, "What does Ark Mentorship and tutoring stand for?"
So, um, ARK is actually my family monogram. Monogram? Is that what it's called? Do you know like the initials?
We're gonna
So
go with monogram.
monogram, yeah.
We're
So
just gonna go with that one. I'm not sure, but we'll go with it.
I know there's a word, but so so it's Amarilis, R Rivera, K Kevin. It's actually also my children's name, Avon, A Rivera, Catalea, K. So it was always my heart for a family business. Um, I get confused a lot with ARC, which is another very big popular organization in New Jersey that service this community. Um, so I was conflicted when I chose the name, but it was more so that I had to choose it because of the connection it had to the letters, and then also biblically, um, there is obviously the story of Noah's Ark, which
Hmm.
um, in that story, Noah was given a blueprint. He was told what to do and didn't know where what it was for and what the purpose it was going to serve. And when the rain came, we saw why. And so I feel like when I got this download of starting this business, I got the blueprints. I was told what to do, and I didn't really know what it was for. And now I'm continuing to see how it's grown, really.
Right.
So, another question that I have that came from my viewers, they said, "What is um?" I'm sorry. Um, oh wait. They said, when you explain augmentation and tutoring, what do you explain to the first time people when they wanna first join your company? Cause I understand you focus on their own level. So what is something that you would tell customers that to get you more customers?
So usually when I get a phone call from someone who is trying to inquire about who we are, I always lead with our mission is to help build confidence and self-esteem. That's our goal, that's our mission. How do we do that? By building relationships, building connections, having authentic relationships with individuals. I have a very big belief that when you believe in somebody, you're able to see them achieve things greater than their own capacity just because they have someone that's believing in them. So that's something that I instill into our mentors, that that's what your purpose is, to be able to help build them up, encourage them, motivate them, challenge them, coach them, whatever it is, any big dreams that they have, any visions they have for their own life. I think they're all achievable, anything and everything. There's no, I have no limits. Or you say you want to do something, I'm going to find somebody who will be able to help you to do that thing that you want to do.
And you And you say you got a lot of mentors, but how did you find uh, all your mentors?
So, um, a lot of my mentors, I actually know them in my personal life. So the beautiful thing about our team is it's family members who work with me, it's friends, it's people that I go to church with, so I see them on Sunday mornings. Um, it's referrals, so I also have friends of friends um, who I was able to meet that have really played such a big role in this. And that's why I started it. When I first started Ark, I didn't know how I was going to go about it, but what ended up happening was I had oh gone.
Zachary. Well, we can keep going.
Oh
He'll
yeah.
join. Yeah.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh, so the people that work on our team, they dang it, now I forgot what I was saying. Boom, boom, boom. How do I get them? I was gonna say something good too.
They go to church. You mentioned a lot of them are family and people
Oh,
that
right.
joined your team.
When I had first started. So okay, boom, boom, boom. So when I had first started, I remember I was trying to figure out how I was gonna build my team, and um it was more so that I remember I was having a conversation with a family and they were looking for a specific service. This was when I used to be a support coordinator, so I actually used to be the person who found resources that for individuals who were receiving DDD services. So I was like, wait, I have connections, I know people who would be able to be a part of these individuals' lives because I knew the community that I had around me. And so, because I knew the community I had around me, I was like, I'll be able to get anybody to be able to work with these individuals and make a great impact with them. And so, that's how I knew that I was able to build such a strong team because I knew the community that I had around me.
Right.
And that's how I chose the people who were going to be a part of it.
Right. You mentioned earlier, you mentioned how you got this download from God to start this business, and He kind of get like unveiled the plan as to how you're going to go about it. Um, how much of that? Obviously, it was an instruction from God, but at the time, did you have a desire to start a business at the time? And how much of that desire was to start it within the field that you were working in?
Um, So it was, I did not think I wanted to have my own business. I actually didn't even know the capacity because I didn't even go to school for that.
Mm,
I went to school for, when I went to college, I went for family and child studies. So it was in my mind, I'm like, oh, I could be like a case manager. My true dream when I was like a kid, I wanted to be a principal of a school.
wow.
That's
Okay.
actually what I wanted to become. So when I got the idea of starting my own business, I kind of was like, but I didn't even go to school for this. I don't have the expertise to be able to run a business because I don't know, I don't have the knowledge base. And so a lot of the things I've always pursued, it's because I've had the knowledge base of it. So to even think that I would have my own business and be running it, I was like, it kind of didn't fit. It didn't fit what I was doing in life. But I had this belief in, I think I had just finished reading doing the book with Pastor George of Original Settings. And I had finished that book and I loved tapping, and my whole life I have a love tapping into my imagination.
Mhm.
And so because I've constantly tapped into my imagination, I started envisioning what it would look like to be able to have my own business. And I was like, wait, I could do that. I could totally do that. And what happened is there were, as a person who was a support coordinator, there was two other businesses that I would always refer families to, and I saw what they were doing and I was like, that's very cool. But I was like, if they tapped more into the creatives, because that's what it was. That as I got closer to these families, I say I grew up with them because I
Mhm,
had the same families that I was their support coordinator for 10 years. And
mhm,
so I got while I was in relationship with them, I remember I got married and I had children. So I grew up, I matured, I became this woman. And so with that maturity, the more I spoke to them, I was like, I want to become what they really, really want. Because they would always ask me for specific services. They would ask me for specific things that they wanted their families to enjoy, but that wasn't out there.
mhm,
And so I was almost like, I can fill that gap. And
mhm,
that's what I started realizing. I'm like, I can fill that gap. I know musicians, I know people who will be able to come and do music, I know artists who will be able. And it was more so that I was like, but there was nothing that I could find, a resource that I could find for these families that were tapping into the creative and was a specific niche. And
right,
so it was more so that I found myself feeling feeling like I can fill the gap and provide something for them that they were looking for that wasn't out there.
right.
Because
So
I get that a lot. Like, oh, it's so different. I've never heard of something like this. And I'm like, yeah, because I got to know these families so deeply that I wanted to give them what they were really looking for.
right, right. So I can
Because
imagine that that you had maybe almost like a bit of second guessing, or maybe like a little bit of fear going into it, or maybe you didn't experience that at all. But like to the person that might be on the fence and dealing with the tension of, yes, they feel like God is calling them to do something, whether start a business or move somewhere or do something, anything. But then there's this tension of, what if it fails, or what if I'm not good enough, or I'm not qualified for this. Like, explain like what your process was in your whole, I guess, unveiling this business of yours.
So you use the word failure, and that was a big thing. So this is not my first business. My first business, I was actually used to create oils and body balms, and and it was more so that I was in a space where I was like, I want supplemental income. And I saw people doing that. I saw them having creating things and selling it. And I
Mhm,
was like, I can't say I was passionate about that, but I was passionate about trying something. And
mhm,
so I I knew, because I've seen it before. I was like, I need to try something, and if it doesn't work out, I know the next thing is going to hit. Because you have to do something, and it can't. There's no way in this world that you could do something and be good at it and perfect at it and it work out the first time. So I was
mhm,
like, let me try this business. I started doing these selling oils, body butters, and I won't say it failed. I just kind of stopped because it wasn't really something I was passionate about, but it was that I just needed to get that feeling of trying something I've never done before. So because I got my feet wet and trying something I never done before, it I was able to take another risk of feeling like the uncertainty of trying this business and knowing that I've done something before and failed. So I know that if I do something again, it's going to succeed, because I
right,
know that the first time it's not going to be perfect. And I was accepting of that. I was accepting that I knew it wasn't going to be perfect and it wasn't going to um, maybe work out in for the other venture. But this venture, it was more so that I was like, I felt solid.
mm,
Like, I can try this. I can take this risk because it's worth this risk.
right, 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 right. Zachary, I,
and,
I know you wanted to jump in. What was that you had to say?
um, first of all, I do want to say sorry about the connection loss. I keep getting phone calls and I keep telling them I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, but they keep calling me, calling me, calling me.
Oh,
I told you, so I, 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 whenever I hit the hang up button, it answered my mistake and then it dropped me, and then I had a hard time logging back on.
All right, man. It's all good. You're here now, so that's all that matters.
But I remember you did say you had other business before Ark Mentorship. Why did you want to quit and start something new?
Because I wasn't really passionate about it. I feel like if you're gonna really have a business for something, it has to be something that like you can stay up all night doing. You're gonna go out your way to learn more about it. And I wasn't really feeling that for the first venture. It was more so like I just wanted to try something. And I also had a friend, shout out to Christy. She was Remnant Co. I had met her. She had her own business. And now actually I feel like she was the one who kind of pulled me into the small business world. And then I was able to help her to start her own, very similar to us, a mentoring company. So in turn, we were able to help each other. But it's nice when you're surrounded too by people who are doing something that you're interested in, because that it'll spark something inside of you that'll help you to go further.
Right.
Mm, For people who don't know, um, I always wanted to start my own company that helps people do similar things. And when I saw Amarilis do her company, I was like, shit, somebody stole my idea. But
Pretty
I
funny.
was like, okay, I'll, I could still do my idea, but do it in my style. So how did you find your style and the way you wanted to do your company?
So like how I was saying, I'm like a free bird. I'm also a chill person in general. So and sometimes I feel like the people want me to come down and be hard and like very, I don't know, like I guess like more aggressive, but I'm totally authentically myself. I really don't try to pretend to be somebody I'm not. Like I'm friendly, I'm easygoing, and I keep that mantra even at in my business. um like people have stuff going on in their lives, I'm super understanding about it, because I understand life can be hard, and so I keep that energy. And so I feel like when you're the energy you put out, it you attract it, which is I think I how we were able to attract so many. We have like 25 mentors who work on our team. So how do I have 25 people who are a part of our team in 3.5 years? I'll give God all the credit, and then I'll say it's because of how he made me to be a likable person and to be able to connect with people and have deep connections with them. And really like I'll say most of my team, I've gone through life with them. Not
Mhm.
everybody, but a lot of the people on my team, I've journeyed through different parts of their lives. And I also like giving people opportunities.
Mhm.
Something new I notice about myself, sometimes it can like bite me in the booty, I'll say, because
Mhm.
maybe you're not qualified for that role, but I'm still going to give you a chance because I think that maybe you'll rise to the occasion.
Mhm.
I do that a lot because I like to believe in people. I'm like, how can we believe
Mhm.
in the people that we're mentoring and I don't believe in the people that are the mentors? So
Do
Right.
you
What? Oh, go ahead.
um I have a question based for my viewers again. Would you hire people that have disability themselves, or would you just have able-bodied people working for your company, or is it diverse?
I think it depends. Right now, honestly, I don't have anybody um who has a different ability. But I feel like we all are have our quirkinesses about us. So maybe you wouldn't think that they're considered on the spectrum, but I mean, we all have our things that we do that make us different.
Yeah.
So I'm accepting, I'm open, but usually I like to match people according to what they're looking for. So a lot of times I've encountered that people who have certain abilities, they don't want somebody who has a different ability because they're trying to feel quote unquote normal. And so they're like trying to get away from it. Like I have some people that we work with that they're like, I don't want to be around those kinds of people. Not that they're bad, but I think that their own perspective of it is like, I'm trying to feel as normal as possible and feel like I'm a part of society. And so that means socializing with people who don't have a label, I'll say.
Right. Right.
Why do you think that is?
I would love to know. I don't know why people feel that way. That's something I'm still trying to figure out, if I could be honest, because I don't know.
Right.
I don't know why certain people are like, oh, I don't want to be with somebody. They don't even like go into day programs because there's too many people who have different like quirkinesses about them and they don't want to be around that. So
Right.
I'm just really respecting of people and what they're looking for in their life.
Right. What has have you learned about yourself like in recent years, especially starting the business and everything like that, and then on within your daily life and everything like that, and evolving. Obviously, you have a lot of changes that's happening. Kids are getting older, different changes going on within your personal life and everything like that. What have you learned the most about yourself over the past couple years?
Um, the first thing when you ask the question in my mind is that I'm resilient. Um, I've gone through so many things. I don't even think I've talked about half the things I've gone through, and I still show up. I still want to be a part of things that, even if I feel like I've been rejected from, I still want to be a part of those people's lives or those things that I participate in. And I feel like I have learned how adaptable I am to circumstances. I've also had to learn how to have so many hard conversations. I didn't know how, like, having hard conversations is huge. And like, I think that I wouldn't even be where I am right now in this business if I didn't hone in on getting good at having hard conversations, because this business is big relational, like you're I have to build relationships with my mentors have to build relationships with the people, because the relationships is how you keep the people that you're working with. So I would have a huge turnover if everybody didn't have hard conversations or be genuine and be honest and be able to deal with problems or deal with conflict in relationship, because that's what happens in relationships.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, that's a big one for me.
Mm.
Difficult conversations they suck at the moment. They do.
Mm.
They really do. But in hindsight, once it's everything's said and done, everything, I feel like so much is accomplished both relationally and then just like um kind of like not leaving any stone unturned type deal where you're yes, this was a difficult conversation and whatever that conversation may have been about. But at least whether we left the conversation in a high note or low point, the, I feel like at least there was like accountability that was upheld from both sides. So I've learned like even in my own personal life, and it's still something I'm still working on. Um, that when I've opted to take that route of having those difficult conversations, I feel like I always feel accomplished. Maybe not at the in the moment, but I feel accomplished later on down the road because I feel like I don't leave out of that conversation where I'm feeling like, oh man, I'm regretting whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, yeah, we probably left not seeing eye to eye, but in the long run we're gonna understand.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So yeah, I feel like that's something
Mm.
that's helped me.
Hmm.
Zach, do you have anything?
To be- I was gonna say something before you said that. To be honest, I even struggle with that myself. I hate to be the one delivering bad news or conflict or anything. And I was like speaking to Amarilis one day because I had this conflict with individual, and she was like, "Why don't you just talk to them?" I said, sometimes I don't know how to deliver it, and I overthink it a lot.
Mhm. Right.
We've
And,
also, do you remember when you've had, there was one with a
mm,
mentor and we were able, there was something you didn't like that they had said, and I had asked you to be open and honest, and we had a conversation, and you had, I made you, and you were so uncomfortable, and I made you address the person, and I made you tell them what you didn't like, and you took a break from them, but they're back in your life because over time you guys, you were able to feel better, and then now they're back as being a mentor. But remember that? Do you remember?
oh my god, Emily, don't tell me how I got.
It was a good thing is that I've watched you journey through it. So you say it's hard for you, but I've watched you
Right.
overcome and have a hard conversation with somebody and be able to move forward with having, still having a relationship with them. So you've done
Right.
it yourself, and you excelled. You did that. You did that. That was the first time you called me pastor. Stop playing.
That's funny.
It was because he, I made him do that, and then he was like, "Oh my God, you're such a pastor." Blah blah blah.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, I'll be
So,
honest. You know, go ahead.
Rose, I'm sorry, Anthony. Um,
No
I
problem.
have a lot of questions for Emma Rose to say. Um, what is one thing you want your mentors to take away working with your company? Also, versus what are some things that you want your clients to take away from your company?
Um. So, what do I want my mentors to take away from mentoring?
Yes.
Okay. So, they actually, honestly, their gratitude. Every time I talk to them, they genuinely love what they do. And that for me is everything. Because if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And so, because my mentors feel that way, I think it's easier for them to really serve their purpose and in feeling like they can pour into somebody else, and in turn that person that they're serving, because it's always the conversation I have with my mentors is um I'm here for them, but somehow they always pour into me too. So it goes both ways, and that gratitude and that synergy that they develop together, I think helps each of them grow as people. um I'll say that.
So, do you feel like this company has evolved not just into a family business, but a community business now?
Yes, yes, and that's why we're, for the first time, going to try to have a an event where we're trying to bring everybody together, because right now everybody works on their own. We as mentors, we go out to the person and we go to their home, we go to their group home, we meet at the local library. So we meet together in community. But now I'm feeling this push to gather people now even more and do things together with like mentors and their mentees together in one place. So we are heading in that direction. Community is going to,
Mm.
I think, be the new facet of what we're doing, because we've all worked individually, but there is certainly like a pool to bring everyone together.
Let's say somebody wants to be more independent, but they have like a disability and they don't know which way to be more independent. Would you would you and your mentees have like a discussion with the family so they can finally have a way to be more independent.
Definitely. Yeah. Our mentors, they're equipped with like life coach. So I tell them like when you're, and it depends, everyone is a different story. Like I'm thinking of one person right now. They live on their own, and they're trying to establish themselves as an individual, not as a son or a daughter or a son. This specific person is a son, and so they're just trying to be themselves as an individual. And when you don't have that skill set, it's nice to have somebody who's had that experience come alongside them and be able to encourage them to be able to do those things independently and help them to build a structure, because that's what it takes to be able to live on your own and be independent.
let's say
Right.
the child, let's say the child wants to do that, but the parent is skeptical about doing that. What is something you will say to the parent that would kindly not tell them what to do, but give them a different way of thinking?
So that, let me tell you, parents are way harder than the individuals. I'm going to be honest, especially when you have parents who are not as open. Because if I could be honest, there's some parents that still treat their adults as kids because that's how
Mhm.
they see them. They see them as that's my son, that's my daughter. I'm protecting them. I know how I treat my 4 and 6 year old, but they're not 4 and 6. They're 36 and 28, so at that point it becomes very challenging, and we've had parents who don't agree with our style and they're like peacing out because it's not for them, because they still want to be in control. So when parents are really in control of their individuals lives and they don't let their adult make their own decisions, it clashes a lot, because as an organization, I like to listen to the person. The parents have a say, but so does the person. I don't think that we should ever neglect what that person who we're mentoring wants. And
Why,
parents
why,
don't agree with that. I will be honest. It's
why
hard.
do you, why do you think parents will do that? Do you think that they're afraid to let the child go? And this world is a scary place, I get it. But so if you don't let the child go, how do you expect the child to understand what it is to understand when the real world hits? I'm sorry to say this, but the parents are not gonna be there 100%. So what are you gonna do after when the parents pass on?
I hope parents hear you, because I think that they have to have that realization. But it's hard. It's hard to let go. It's really hard. I've seen a lot of parents. There are parents that I know that are in their 70s still caring for their adult children. And that's all they've done their whole life. Protect them, safeguard them, make sure nobody harms them because they're weaker, or they they don't they don't make the best decisions for themselves. But the hope is that they'll be able to trust God, because you can't there's I can't you can what other hope do they have in knowing that their child is going to be okay? They're going to have to really trust in a higher power. Something else is going to have to take care of that adult, but that has to come from the parent. So I don't know if there's like parent groups or support groups, but I think parents need to like they need each other to be able to know like maybe I need to let go a little bit so I can see if my child can actually be successful without me, right? Because they're like they can only make it if it's me. They can only make it if I do it, right?
Right.
Because they always put it on themselves.
Right.
But that's all they've done. Again, I go back to that. That's all they've done. That's all they know.
Right.
And
Have
so
you,
being able to extend that grace to those families and just educate them more, and just knowing that they're playing a part in not seeing their person succeed or get better, That's something they
He-
have to realize.
here's what I would like to see happen in the near future. I don't know if it could happen, but if you're a first time parent of a child with a disability, the first 30 days I would recommend classes for first time parents that are gonna be having a child with different abilities. So they are fully aware about what they're gonna get themselves into.
Yeah, education is huge. I agree.
And I'm not trying to make this episode bad on the parents. I'm just these are personal concerns that I see happen with my friends or anything happen. So I'm like curious, like these are very important topics, but if you find this triggering, I I'm sorry, but I feel like it's very important to have these deep conversations.
When I want to share something. When I first became a support coordinator, I worked for Neighbors. I love Neighbors. They taught me everything I know. I will give them all the credit. I was there 10 years. They're incredible. Cherry Oakley, she's the bomb.com. Best boss I've ever had. But what I will say is they are huge on person centered, meaning when you're planning and you're helping someone to come up with what they want to do in their life, it has to be person centered. It has to be about the person, with the person making their decisions. And because they were so big on that and educating us as support coordinators to work like that, that's how I still think. It has to be person centered. And the parents do obviously get to have a say, but the person who is living that life, it is their life. And them being able to have an opinion and have a say in how they're going to live their life is very valuable. Yeah.
Uh, um, like I've been with you guys company for 2 years now, almost 2 years.
I
In
think.
August, it will be 2 years.
Oh, cool.
But um, throughout different mentees that I had, and but I have learned a little bit about myself from each and every mentor.
That's very valuable.
But A- Anthony is the most craziest one.
I
I
love it. That's what we
was
like.
waiting for it the whole time. I'm like, this is gonna turn south. This is gonna turn south at some
He's
point.
the craziest. I love it. I mean, isn't it better? You got to have the most radical person. They're the ones who make the biggest difference in the world, the craziest ones. They're
Mm.
the ones who make an impact in the world, not regular people. They're whack and boring.
And of course, he always encourages me to do myself, be myself. But there's something I want Anthony to do that he's refusing to do.
Uh oh.
He wants I want him to sing on this episode, but
Oh
he's
my lord.
refusing to sing on this episode. But how can you encourage me to do what I want to do? But you say you like to sing. I want to see
Well,
I mean,
Zachary, let me tell you something.
it.
Your boy Anthony just did a little EP with my husband in our sala, in our living room last week. I got a
Yeah, I
recording
saw it. I saw it. I saw it.
singing in my house. So we can make it happen, Zachary. Whatever you want, we got this. No worries.
Okay. So
all
Mia,
right.
you will see Amarilis is future episodes when we do make this happen,
Oh,
because I will make sure Kevin is on this episode. If I get Kevin on this episode, you did me.
Listen, I will sing as long as I hear you sing a Mariah Carey song.
Web.
Oh, that was James album or something. He was like, "Oh, I'm never gonna sing. I'm never gonna sing." But now, because I sing a Mariah Carey song, oh deal.
He says deal. He says deal. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Thank you very folks.
There you
And I
go.
have this on recording, so you can't go back now.
No,
yeah,
I won't. I won't. I won't go back.
right.
But you still got to
Yeah,
hold your end of the bargain.
yeah, right.
Your favorite artist, Mariah Carey?
Oh my lord. Yes.
Wow, I
Unfortunately.
didn't know
Unfortunately,
that.
world.
Wow. What do you mean?
Unfortunately.
Christmas is almost here. She's about to
I
have her
yeah,
shine.
yeah.
What?
This man had the audacity to say that
What?
she was the greatest singer of all time. I nearly lost my cool.
No, I'm
Yes.
what happened at Christmas in July?
Christmas in July. Hey, that's great. That's a great idea. Christmas in July. Okay, we bringing Mariah Carey out again right now. Don't play.
We could definitely keep her in December. I'm fine with just hearing
Oh
her in
yeah,
December once a year.
I want to be with Eververse more often.
That's funny.
That's cool.
But uh we've talked and we've spoken
I
about
don't
a
want.
lot.
I don't want this episode to end. Cause
Oh.
I know. I know.
I like
Um
what we said yesterday.
so we've spoken about a lot, and you've touched on a lot, as far as like your personal life, and then just going through like different phases, from working and being a regular employee to owning your own business, and then also raising children, being a full-time wife, all the special things. um
Mm.
and there may or may not, but there may be someone watching, just trying to figure out life, maybe similarly, in your shoes, maybe a few years ago, where you're trying to like just juggle everything and trying to figure things out, like, man, all right, how do I handle all this? God, you placed this all in my hands. Now how do I make do with what you've given me? um could you, I guess, either shed light or just give a word of encouragement to someone who might be, either stressed, overwhelmed, find themselves in a place where they're like, man, I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Mm. Um, I love that you ask these questions, and I literally get a thought the minute you say that. This is so meant to be. While you were saying that, I felt in my heart, you have to sit still long enough to wait for an answer,
Oh my lord. Oof.
because we move so fast and we don't
Mm.
sit still long enough to get our next move. So, like for an example, I was telling you guys I'm in Puerto Rico. I got here on
Which
Sunday, and so now I'm here 2 days, and I already, I my kids are in a camp. So they're in camp during the day. So I actually have some free time, which I really only have free time when the kids are in school, like on a regular week. But now that they're with me, I've had them consecutively for the past 3 weeks. Now that they're in camp, I've had enough space to sit still. Right. So yesterday I went for a jog. I ran from my house to the beach. I sat at the beach, and I found myself finding it difficult to disconnect. It's almost like I was trying to just watch the waves, but my mind kept drifting. And my thoughts kept going. And then I'm like scrolling on Instagram and I'm like, that's not my purpose right now. I'm really supposed to just be sitting down watching the waves. That's what I told myself that I was going to do. Right. So I kept doing that. I'm like, okay. And it didn't, I can't say that I had like a good enough sit down. And today, one of my mentors, my uncle, Abe, he's the best. He calls me on time. He's so Holy Ghost filled. He calls me. He's like, I feel like he just prays and he has his time. And then he calls me and I'm like, wow, you are right on time for me. Got it. And so the conversation we had today was he says he feels like I am avoiding something. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm avoiding something. Uh-oh, I need to go back to just sit still. So tomorrow I'm going to go sit still for longer than I did yesterday because
Right.
I
Mm.
there's an answer that I'm waiting for and he thinks I'm avoiding something. I'm just being transparent with you guys. So
Right.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go and go sit still because you know why? I don't want to miss, right? Because we move so fast that we miss those little moments of getting the word or the thought that we need in the moment. And so my encouragement is sit still long enough until you get that answer. And
Mm.
don't move until you get it. You know?
Right.
It didn't
This
work
is
it didn't work out yesterday. So I'm gonna try again tomorrow. And I'm gonna
this,
keep sitting still long enough until I get that answer. Doesn't
Right.
matter how long it takes.
this is why I call her Pastor.
I love you, Zach.
I love that. I love that. That really hit
Mm.
me too. Because I think sometimes too, like in my personal life, I can be always on the go, and I'm so like wired to do that. Especially like me, like I have my whole day planned out, right? So I'm like from one task to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. So it's easy for me to remain programmed, where it's almost like robotic. It's like clockwork. From my meals to the gym to work to any other responsibility. Um, so like sometimes I find myself just forgetting to disconnect, right? And even when I'm sitting down, very much like what you're explaining, I'll find myself scrolling on Instagram and just like what they call doom scrolling. And I'm not even looking for anything. It's just like I'm just looking at random videos like somebody jumping off of a building. Like, why am I even watching this? You know?
Mm.
But it's just to say that like I'm so programmed to always be doing something. Even when I'm sitting, I'm doing something,
Right.
right? So you kind of like you hit the nail on the head for me, even with what you said. Just for me, even just to be a little bit more intentional about like really disconnecting, and even when you're just sitting, being intentional with about doing nothing,
Yeah.
right? And just like really waiting, so to speak. Um, so that was good. That was powerful. That was
Yeah.
powerful.
You guys,
Zachary.
this is so
Anthony,
cool.
Anthony,
This is so
Anthony.
cool, by the way. Just us saying.
Amarilis, he's trying to buddy you up.
Of course.
Oh, of
Why
course.
he can't just be my friend and just say kind things? That's what we do. We encourage each other. That's how we remain in relationship.
Because of money.
As of what? Money? Money, he said.
Mm.
Zachary. So you know what we always do. I always revert back to you, because you're the inspiration.
But but
You're
Anthony, I have a question for you this
sure.
time.
Go ahead.
So can you tell me your experience working with the company?
My experience working with the company. Really, to be honest, man, hasn't been very long. Actually, you are my first mentee. um, and honestly, when me and Amarilis spoke, and Kevin, um,
Okay.
they saw something in me that I didn't even see. I'm
Mm,
just be honest. They mentioned the opportunity to possibly mentor. someone who was interested in, writing speeches, public speaking, and possibly doing a podcast. And I was like, I don't even know where to start with any of that. Right.
So,
And I remember having a full on conversation with my wife because I'm like, they ran this by me and they're crazy because I don't even know I don't know how to do any of that. Like, yeah, I probably have like experience, doing technical stuff and everything like that, but it's like, I don't know where to start. So my wife was like, just go for it. Let's see, just do it. See what happens.
so,
And sure
so,
enough,
so
here we are.
here's being mentioned, but he's talking about himself in a negative fashion. So how come you're talking yourself in a negative fashion, but in our sessions you're this positive go-getting guy?
No, I mean, I'm not. I'm just being honest. I'm not. I mean, I don't believe that now, but it is. I did have those thoughts, to be honest. I didn't think that I was necessarily qualified for the job. Just
Just
because
sounded like a little bit more of like doubt, just a little
right,
doubt.
right.
you,
So,
He's more
you,
than capable,
but
just never did it.
what 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 it ended up showing me was that I believe this was in many ways a
you
God
have
thing.
to, you have to speak it in existence.
Oh, Pastor number two, look at you. Okay, so we have pastor and assistant pastor on the call now. So yeah, it showed me a lot. So it showed me one that that this was a God thing, and two, um, that sometimes God will use other people to see things that you don't necessarily see in yourself and bring it out. So that's one thing I could say that Amarilis and just saw in me that she felt like she needed to bring out, and look, we're here. We
have
have a
I
whole full on podcast. What episode is this?
Yeah, what number is this?
is this
18 episodes. Look at that. 18 episodes. And it feels like just
Wow.
yesterday we started this thing.
but
Um,
actually when you first started working with me and you found out about my story, like did I help you change your mindset when
um,
you heard my story?
oh yeah. Your story was inspiring. Zachary, the first time I read your letter or your speech rather, um, I started crying. And to be honest, if I'm 100% honest, when I first read it, I got a little bit more overwhelmed because I was like, what am I getting into? Because then I reading your speech made me feel the weight of what it was that I was being assigned to. So I was like, man, this is even bigger than what I think it is, right? Um, but that's a lot how God operates. God will put you in positions where in the beginning you're just not comfortable, and in many cases it's funny because sometimes God will put you in places where you're never comfortable, right? Um, and you're just constantly moving in faith, and just taking the next step, and Him worrying about the rest. So I feel like that was one of those things where God put put this in front of me, and He said, just move, and here we are. I've not only been able to walk alongside you in starting this podcast, but then you also have a book out um, that is very inspiring as well. And I've been able to establish a relationship with you too, man, and that's been very impactful in my own life
Yeah,
too. So
but this is the guy of all the questions. I call him the question guy.
He's the question guy.
yeah, so I tell him I'm always picking his brain just because I like to see what he's thinking, how he thinks, and stuff like that. So
And
um,
this guy likes to paint a whole picture in his brain. It's like he's doing artwork in his brain.
You see, you have to have a little bit of crazy. It's the creative side of him. It's just he can't help it. Is that's what makes him so cool.
I want to peel his onions sometimes.
I see that. I see that. You get a kick out of doing that. That's great. That's great. So Zachary, what
Anthony,
is some?
you always let me go first. How about guest go first?
She just went, but she can go again.
To do what?
Okay, you can go. Say the
Me?
best. Say the best for last.
Oh, okay. So we usually leave our guests or our viewers with parting words. So
Hmm.
My,
actually,
my words weren't parting enough.
yeah, I know.
Yes, they
This
are,
is
but yes,
anticlimactic.
yes, they are, but you're a pastor. You can boost extra stuff up.
There you go. There you go. All right. So if I had to leave our viewers with anything, I would say go for it. Do
Yeah.
it scared, do it nervous, do it sad, do it with whatever emotion you are feeling at the moment. You just never know what you'll find on the opposite side. And if there's anything that we've learned in this conversation, we've learned just that. We've learned and we've seen someone, an individual who's been able to navigate life, literally just being obedient to what it is that God has called her to do. Um, and she's been seeing the fruit of that, throughout her life, and throughout her family's life and everything. So I would say, um, you know, do what you feel like you are called to do. Do it scared, but do it. And that's all I would have to say. How about you, Zachary?
Anthony always thinks that the easy way out. Okay, Anthony, let me show you how it's done.
Okay.
Okay, and Amarilis is a true example about how far about what she wants to do in her life. She won't do it unless she always has a passion to do it. If she has a passion to do something, she won't stop until she gets it done. And she's a true example of that. And she wanna share her knowledge with her family and the family that she's working with, because she is not only helping families, but she's also learning about how she can help her clients or the families that she's supporting. And she's using what she has for the, the support there and every experience she had in the past to make sure that she's getting her all experience.
That was
So I So I feel like we could all learn something from others when we feel discouraged, when we feel negative about ourselves. If we want to do something, we can go back into our story or my story or your story and really think about, is this what we want to do? Is this what we want to do? And if the answer is no, find out why. And when you find out why, then you you will really understand why you are meant to do what you're meant to do.
I like it.
That was very good.
That was very good.
That was very good. Like the next
Yeah,
time,
but
like
you could have done better. Mm.
I know, I mean, you outdid everyone. The next time like you ever have to intro me, I want my intro to sound just like you just did for Amaryllis, just like
Um, you don't pay me enough. Actually, you don't pay me at all.
No, Zachary, you trying to butter me up? That's what you said to Anthony, that
there
he
he
was trying
goes.
to butter me up. Now you trying to butter me up.
There he goes. He's looking for a job, and
Right.
You, you don't pay me at all. So when you get the dog, when the dollar comes in the bank account, then we'll talk.
there you go. There you go. Well, to our audience, we'd
To
like
our,
to.
to our next episode of Zachary teaching Anthony.
There you go.
What you teaching him?
I don't know what he's teaching me.
Zachary got jokes today.
I know he's a joker today. Um. So, with that said, to our audience, we'd like to thank you for watching. We'd like to also remind you, if you haven't already, if you're just watching this and you haven't subscribed, shame on you. No, joking. Just
and
subscribe.
and
Good, Zach.
and also I would like to thank all the 100,000 people watching this channel.
Yes. You better
Okay.
blame me.
I I I got an email from YouTube saying that I got 100,000 people watching this channel. So I'm grateful for everybody tuning in. But I don't know why you're not hitting that subscribe button and tuning in every day. So let's get to know each other and let's keep building this podcast. And I would like to have more people from our mentorship and tuning and hearing their perspectives as well.
We're here.
Uh,
I got names. I got names. I got you.
hmm,
There you go.
so this is the second season of getting to know our mentorship.
Nice.
That that is what I'm gonna call this series, getting to know our mentorship.
I like it. I'm
I like
excited.
it. Well, I can't add anything to that. That was perfect. And
Better than yours. And plus, I like roasting Anthony.
plus, yeah,
I hope
of
I
course you
get
do.
to roast Anthony again soon.
Sure, sure. Every week. Sure. And also to the 100, you mentioned 100,000
Viewers.
viewers.
Yeah.
100,000 viewers. That's 100,000 people that can possibly order the book on Amazon. Go check it out.
And plus, if you order the book and you like what you see, please leave a review and let me know what you think.
There you go. And with that said, we like to one last time thank you for watching.
Oh, she's hungry now. I guess we bore her enough. Now she wants to go
It's
eat.
not that. It's snack time. It said
It
we've
is
been
snack.
closing the service for like 20 minutes. We
I
just gotta.
know. I feel like a Pentecostal church already. Like how many closes and we're gonna do? Like the musicians are already playing. They're
They're
already
like,
playing our outro.
and they still going. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, what? We're gonna end soon. I know.
we in closing for the 30th time. Thank you for watching. Zach, do you have anything else to say?
Ah!
Oh, he liked that
Anyway,
You see,
tune in
you
next
see,
week.
you probably see what I gotta deal with, folks. Dealing with Anthony is a hard bargain, and they don't pay me enough to deal with him. They
Yeah,
don't pay me. They don't pay me at all, folks.
one. They don't.
that's all, folks.